Hi, this is Cindy Abbott Letro. We're behind the camera. Today we're talking with Bill Fichtner, who you've seen on the big screen, on the little screen, and probably on stage as well. Bill, welcome back to Western New York. You know, one of the things that I think is so much fun is that you have developed this sort of relationship with the community through the sports teams, particularly the Buffalo Bills.
In Buffalo, there are only two seasons, football season and waiting for football season. This is a city built on rock and steel. We expect our players to be just as tough. To be a fan of the Buffalo Bills is a birthright. It's handed down from generation to generation. I know, because I'm one. It means we know what the comeback is, and we hate the phrase wide right. We don't jump on bandwagons, we circle them. Fasten your seatbelts isn't something we just do in our cars. They're words that define a legacy. Buffalo Bills football is about tradition and pride, inspired by the man who built our team. And that's what makes Sunday the greatest day of the week, and the reason that we're proud to say that we're Bills fans. This is our town, this is our team, and this is our time.
I don't think, it's not a secret, you are a fan.
Oh, that's and that was in evidence when the Bills played the Rams a few weeks ago. How exciting. I took my sons and two nephews from Buffalo, flew out there, and it was so thrilling because if there were 75,000 people in the Coliseum, 25,000 had Bills jerseys on. Wow. I thought I was sitting in a section, it was like a home game.
You weren't one of those guys with your body painted.
I can't share that, Cindy, I'm sorry. No, but they were sitting right behind me, and they were from Buffalo.
What is it about Buffalo fans? I mean, there is something. It's like, even for us to be doing this program here, it's all about this kind of, this Buffalo pride that we have if you're from Western New York.
You know, I'll tell you what it is, or at least it's a lot of things, and we're not a huge community, and we get behind the things that we care about, and I think the sensibilities of Buffalo people have a lot to do with, I think, the way that I go about work in my life. You know, we don't always put the cart before the horse, and it's not what you say, it's what you do. But on the Goo Goo Dolls live album that they recorded in the rain, Johnny Resnick says on there, Buffalo, wow, toughest town in America. I think that's a lot of it. It is a tough town. Not tough like we're tough, we fight and that. No. It's just hard to live here. We live in the elements, and we keep going, and win or lose, we don't stop, and we get behind it. I tell people when there's a Buffalo Bills home game, when you take Buffalo and the surrounding suburbs, and then if that stadium is full, I think it's 1 out of every 9.5 people is in the stadium. Right. That's a lot to say.
Well, why is that? Why are we so passionate?
It's our window. We're a big town, but we're not. But it's our window that we can compete with anybody, and we're tough and we go for it. And I think that's why, at least I feel that it's like when it's time, the biggest team's going to come to town. Well, we're a big team, and we care, and we can cheer as much as anybody, and we do proudly.
There's also something about, and I don't know if you found this. I'm not even from Buffalo. I came here, we won't say how many years ago, but I find that there is always a Buffalo connection somewhere that, you start talking and there's like this thing that you find that common denominator, and it usually is somebody you know or something you did or something that comes from Buffalo.
Well, it's like I was saying at the Bills when they were playing in Los Angeles. You expect a big crowd like that for Dallas Cowboys or the Patriots to be out there. But I was blown away that this was probably the second smallest market in the NFL had this presence. I'll give you another example. I just finished shooting this film called Finding Steve McQueen, based on a true story and a period piece from 1972, and I shot it in Atlanta. So I happened to be there on one of the Sundays and Googled Buffalo Bills fans bars. So I thought if I'm going to go watch the game, I want to be around Bills fans. Sure. So I found this place called the Whitehall Tavern, and I walked through the door there, and I was like, I'm home. I'm home. I said to the bartender from Buffalo, he said, Jamestown. I'm like, that's close enough, buddy. And anywhere you go, you're gonna find Bills fans. You're gonna find people. I don't know. It's just something else. I've lived around the world and I've run into people, and they say they're from Buffalo, and I don't know what it is, but it's like I just, you could, why don't you hang with me today? Yeah, you're with folk. You're with your hometown folk.
You just mentioned that you finished a film. Has it gotten easier for you? I mean, you've had a very successful career. When there's a role that you go for, do you have to go through everything like everyone else, or are any of those steps eliminated because of the body of work that you have had over the years?
Sometimes. I find that, every once in a while now I'll read something and I'm like, I love this. I'd really like to get it. But you know what? When I love it and I want to get, everybody wants to get it. And so sometimes those things don't work out. But I find that most of the things that I do now, people come to me. Like this year in particular, 2016, has been like this independent film year. I've read more unbelievable little scripts, and it could be just a few scenes or a larger supporting part or a lead part or whatever, on these tiny budget films that are absolutely no money. They have no money to give me or anybody else. But I read the scripts and I'm like, God, this is just amazing. I'm in. This has been my indie year. and then I'm going to mow lawns to make some money, but it's been great. This has been fulfilling. So it changes. It goes up and down.
Well, the industry has changed too. When you talk about independent films, we had this conversation with Jonathan Sanger, who produced so many wonderful films.
Mm-hmm.
He says almost anyone with an iPhone, or they can go out and they can make a film of some sort that
Sure.
gets shown. Yeah.
And they do. Well, you think of it, and I graduated from SUNY Farmingdale, went there for 2 years, 74 to 76, and then Brockport, 76 to 78. And when I finished Brockport and made a decision that I was not going to pursue my criminal justice degree, that I was going to, and my mother took me to the bus station in downtown Buffalo to take a bus to New York. At that time, when I looked at my parents and said, I want to be an actor. That was like saying I built a small spaceship and I'm going to Mars. You want to watch me take off? Because it was pre-Age of Information, and I didn't know anybody that was an actor. It is different now. But the business has also changed, not only in that way, in social media, which I'm such a dinosaur with. I'm like, oh,
Me too.
I can't go on Twitter. I can't, stick my leg in my mouth and put it out there for everybody to read. But it's changed in other ways, and studios economically used to make 4 times the amount of films that they make today. Everything has shifted. So you find your place and find what makes you happy and go try to do it.
Well, we're glad that you found your place because you make us all proud. Thank you, Bill.
My pleasure.